was 5:45 though, wasn't it?
I thought it was 5.
Hey,
if you're joining us for the parent-teacher live chat, we will be getting here in just a few minutes. My name is Eli Harvey. I'm the 7th grade social studies teacher, and we'll give a few people time to get in here and join in. We're going to try to go through some examples of Canvas and eSchool, and hopefully answer some questions about some technology and maybe how certain classes are run if you have them. If you do have questions, please feel free to type in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. We do ask that you keep it fairly general, not asking about any specific children or anything like that. We won't answer those questions. It's just about helping you get organized or understand how we do things, etc. Okay, so it is 5:45. So I'm going to introduce, the 7th grade team here real quick, and then we'll start going through some Canvas and stuff. Like I said, my name is Eli Harvey. I teach 7th grade social studies. And you probably saw a real close up of my face there, but that's okay. All right. So next we have Mrs. Fowler.
Hi, I teach 7th grade social studies and science.
And Mrs. Sparks.
Hello, I teach 7th grade math and accelerated math.
Okay, and Miss Blanchard.
Hi, I teach
Oh,
7th grade
okay, there you
science.
Say it again, Miss Blanchard. My camera was there,
Miss
not there.
Blanchard and I teach 7th grade science.
All right, and then Mrs. Bullard.
Nope, I'm Johnson. Oh, she's
and
Behind
She knows
you.
she's back here.
Health and Project Lead the Way, Design and Model.
finally, Mrs. Johnson.
English.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna run through some Canvas courses here, and what we want to do is show you finding grades on Canvas, and then just some of the things that we noticed with that. And I'll let Mrs. Johnson take over here.
So, when you're in a class, you want to click over here where it says grades, and that will take you to something like this. We don't deduct points for late work, so if it says late, we haven't deducted late points for that. Missing means that nothing has been turned in yet. And if something has been turned in and there's a low score, be sure that you look for comments. There aren't any comments on this one. Let me look over here. So like this one, this student got an incomplete on this assignment on practice for slope, but this conversation bubble means that there is a comment. So if you click on that, it says for this assignment, you need to show your work and have the units on your answer. Please add in the work and units, then resubmit to me. So that we usually try to tell students how they can earn back any points that they've missed. Another interesting thing that you can do on Canvas, like if I wanted to show this student, look, if you did do this and you got full credit on it, you could, so it looks like he's done this now. This arrow tells you that it's not really done. And then if you scroll up to the top, it'll show like what that does to the student's grade. So it was a 90, I think 0.99, and so that bumped it up about 3 percentage points. But this is the important part to pay attention to, where it says, note, this is not your official score. So that don't let your students try to trick you into thinking that they have a much higher grade than they actually do. Was there anything else I can? Okay. I'm not sure how this teacher has modules set up, but for most of us, modules are probably the best way to get to assignments. We think of a module like a file folder, not necessarily like when I first heard module, I thought it meant that you had to work through something step by step before you could go on to the next one. That's not necessarily the case. I know for my class, I set it up so that it's like all the stuff in that same unit. Okay. Eschool? Sure. Okay, just don't tell my kid I'm doing. So using home access, when you first log in, it's going to look something like this. And then grades are just the official posted ones, like for progress reports or for quarter grades. Think of classes like classwork, and that's where you can see what's currently being worked on and what's currently missing. eSchool is our official grading, so while Canvas is where we tend to provide feedback, eSchool is where our home access is where we actually have to put the final grades. If something is missing, it probably says MIS, or it may have a 0, just kind of varies on some of those. I'm looking through here, like here's a 0. So for our classes, they can make up missing assignments. This is not a Hickory student here. So if it's blank, it may mean that it's not turned in yet. It also may mean that we haven't yet gotten around to grading it. If that's the case, you might check Canvas just to see an update.
For the first question we have, grades. Grades are updated at Hickory. We are asked to update grades by every Tuesday afternoon before we leave. So we try to any new grades, anything like that, get in by the next Tuesday and updated. So by Tuesday evening, you should have new grades, and definitely by Wednesday morning if there are new grades to be put in. Also on eSchool, if you need access to your eSchool, what you can do, what our office asks that you do is give them a call, or you can come in and just let them know who you are, and they can get your eSchool access username and password. They'll often ask you to verify an address or something of that nature to just make sure it is you. And then once you have that, you can log in, and all eSchools should look like what we showed you with grades and classwork, etc., where class is the classwork and is kind of the important thing that we're looking for checking on work and things of that nature. Any other questions you have, please feel free to type them in the chat. I know that a lot of people have asked about both eSchool and Canvas. For social studies, modules is definitely the way to go for finding any work that you see in eSchool or Canvas that's missing. Going through modules and think of it like Ms. Johnson said as a file folder to access it is really important. And then science and math are the same way. And if you, like Ms. Johnson said, if you see any grades that aren't full participation or really low, are at zeros, anything like that, please, we all take redos. We'll take them all quarter long so that we can get stuff back. Our goal is always for students to get show mastery of our standards and not on when they get those in. So please, if there's anything that's a little bit lower than normal, that's what we ask that you do redos. Asking about communication. All of our emails should be on the Hickory Hills homepage. You can message us through Canvas. We all have Canvas access. Your student has Canvas access. If you are logged into your student's Canvas, if you've connected that, you can go through the inbox and message us that way. I know I check my Canvas messages daily throughout the day, and I think we all are pretty close to that. The other thing that we try to do on a week-by-week basis, and this is linked to, I think, everybody's Canvas course, is this is our weekly agenda. This is for the 7th grade weekly agenda. We try to put in the seated assignments and the virtual assignments, and they're split up. They tend to try to have a due date. And what a student can do is they can make a copy of this and they can check through those as they go through the week and make sure they've done it. Definitely our virtual students, if they're not here a day, this is a great way to see, make sure I went to Mrs. Johnson's English class for my virtual day to make sure I did that assignment, or Mr. Harvey's social studies class and check that off as they go through. And for parents too, if you need to see what any of us are doing, we try to update these every single week to see for that.
Give guidance. To give guidance.
Oh, to give guidance, yes. Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of what we do and how we try to communicate information to people. Again, email or send us Canvas messages if you have questions. We all try to respond as quickly as we can. Our important thing is communication as often as possible. And so, any other questions on your part? What I might say is, if you don't have questions, if you're not concerned about anything else, what we might do is keep this open another few minutes to see if any other parents join in a little late. Just to kind of run through any information they might have missed. But that's pretty much on our end, kind of what we are hoping helps parents, students, anybody access any information, and get through. We know some of that's a little tricky. One thing I will say actually, I have had a lot of parents mention getting spammed with emails. One of those things is going to your Canvas page. If you, we'll pull it up here. If you click on like your icon here and then go to notifications, you can click on that and then right there, you can turn off certain notifications. So email notifications, and just go down the line. Anything that's green, you'll get a notification on. Anything that's not green will be turned off. So I've had several parents message about the numerous emails that they get. Definitely if you have multiple children, finding those announcements and turning off things that you don't think that you need to be receiving emails on is super important.
So if you don't want to receive those emails about announcements, notifications off.
Yep.
But I need to hear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my mind.
The other thing is Canvas logins to, I believe you can get through the office as well, if I remember correctly. I think it's the same as eSchool. So your eSchool and your Canvas should be the same, and that way you can go through and find the login information and to get here if you need to get there. One other thing is the 7th grade team has linked. The Hickory Hills website has a lot of useful information to it. The middle school, not the country club.
Thanks for that clarification.
So, if you scroll down, sorry.
That blue
yeah,
section.
right there. So on the right-hand side, you see quick links. That's how you can get to the 7th grade weekly agenda. We do have Canvas videos that will be posted by the beginning of next week. We also have a calendar on the left-hand side, any important dates coming up. So like we'll see, we got no school next week. Any headlines, we'll have any of our sporting events that are coming up under news headlines, and then quick links. And you can see that there's our 7th grade weekly agenda, eSchool home access to access that. Canvas access is also right there. So those are all, I would say, the Hickory Hills website has quick links to both eSchool and Canvas if you need those. Our office has login information if you want that. We have lunch and breakfast menus linked there.
This is free for everybody.
And it is free for everybody right now. Any other notifications coming up on there? Our Twitter is on there as well. Mr. Williams is really good about posting weekly tweets and upcoming events on Twitter. So if you don't follow us on Twitter, please follow us on Twitter. The same with our YouTube channel. We try to, anything like our open house videos are all on YouTube this year. So anything like that is really good access to try to follow us on, so that any information that's coming out from Hickory Hills you can hear quickly and get access to. And I think if there are no other questions, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. This video will stay up. So again, if you missed something that we said, if you need to go back through, feel free to watch this again. And I'm hoping it helps. And feel free, please message us, email us, contact us if you have any questions. We are more than willing to help. Definitely as crazy as it is right now. Okay. We're good.
Good job, Eli.
I'm good at that.